Academy voters, for your consideration, this dramatic outtake from Midnight Mass. As far as acting goes, this monster from the fog is definitely ready for his close-up.
Now let me see your face in there.
No matter whether you're dealing with chainsaw-toting psycho killers or zombie brain eaters from hell, it's important to keep your sense of humor. And no horror movie director knows that better than Sam Raimi. You probably know him best from Spider-Man. But to scary movie fans, he will always be known as the genius behind what has been called the greatest horror film series of all time, the trilogy of The Evil Dead. While most scary movie directors were inspired by horror film classics, Raimi had a different influence. Three of them to be exact.
Readaptation of a scene from Three Stooges that I like. And they're getting a little pissed.
They're muscling in on our territory. We gotta do something to stop them.
So they grab grapes. Hit them with a salvo, boys. They put them in their elbows.
Fine.
He goes, oh!
That was a shot, boy.
Only this is the horror version of it.
This scene has become a horror classic. And in this exclusive behind-the-scenes footage, you actually see how it was done.
When Cassie actually swallows the eyeball, that was a reverse shot where we put the eyeball in her mouth on a piece of monofilament, and on action she pretended like she was acting in reverse, and the eyeball shoots out of her mouth, and then when they flip the film, you see the eyeball go in. But you can see the monofilament. If you look closely, you can see the monofilament sticking off of the eyeball.
The grisly mayhem of a finished horror film totally blurs the line between fiction and reality. The rehearsals?
1,
Well, not so much.
3.
In this scene, a murdered zombie comes back for revenge. In this outtake, he doesn't seem quite so threatened.
All right, we got it.
In The Howling, the filmmakers had the great idea of showing a man transform into a wolf right before the audience's eyes. The rehearsal kind of burst their bubble. Using a tube to create horrifying special effects is pretty common in horror films.
Let's do it one more time.
No.
Come on, please. Come on, friend. We need the shot.
No. I'll hold my breath till I get my way.
Come on, do it.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I like it a little rough.
But in this sex scene with the cannibal, the tube they used to create this bloody mess
But you're not gonna see them.
was pretty scary all by itself.
Go ahead and lay back down. No, I just don't want to get blood on his pants. So just lay back down.
Now, the thing I was laughing about is this dialogue is almost verbatim when I met my wife.
Coming up, the X-Files you didn't see or hear.
You don't know, you lying sack. Oh.
More bad news. The Howling.
Oh, boy.
Plus, a young Alfred Hitchcock has an idea for a horror film. All when the WB's outrageous Halloween Outtakes returns.
Have you ever been watching a horror film and found yourself whispering? It's only a movie. It's only a movie. Well, tonight, we're going to prove that it isn't only a movie. Because we're not only taking a look at scary films, we're also going to show you some totally real home video that might have inspired you. Video that will prove you should be afraid. Be very, very afraid. We start with the master of suspense, Alfred Hitchcock, and one of his all-time classics. I wonder what that might be.
Oh. Now, why would he do that? Most peculiar. What on earth?
This real home video shows it started small. But soon, there was no escape. From the city to the suburbs, first they were only a few. But then they massed by the thousands. Then, tens of thousands. They craved human flesh.
He's stuck.
The more flesh, the better. Even sacrificing a virgin won't appease them. The Birds, coming soon to a neighborhood near you. For 9 years, some of Hollywood's spookiest stories weren't coming at you in the movie theaters. They were beamed right into your living room, courtesy of The X-Files. Alien abductions, complete with probe, vampires, werewolves, cannibalism. Every week, Mulder and Scully were faced with some of the darkest discoveries and most twisted freaks imaginable. But through it all, they managed to survive, thanks to some high-end firepower and a really whack sense of humor. Like this dramatic scene, where they discovered 2 charred and smoking bodies.
They're done. Have you ever had any dealings with a cow?
Just exactly what are you implying, Agent Scully?
Now presents here, my routine hobby.
Don't tell me you don't know, you lying sack of shit. Oh.
Fox Mulder and Dana Scully had their audiences on the edge of their seats in suspense. Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny had their crew on the floor in laughter.
I don't believe them. They've got to have some form of transportation somewhere.
In this episode, Fox Mulder faces off with a giant alligator. This outtake shows their relationship was a lot more friendly.
Well, Raps, you wanna go out now and get something to eat? No? You wanna get something to drink? What do you say we go over to Helga's house and eat her alive? No? You don't even want to do that? You're a spoiled sport. I'm gonna kick you.
What's this? In this scene, a book is supposed to surprise them by bursting into flames.
Bedtime reading?
But in the outtake,
Close. A little smoke. Blow on it. Do you have a bellows? Don't make burning butts like they used to.
finally, the surprise is for real.
Coming up, Willard. Behind the scenes.
That might look too sexual.
That looks pretty sexual.
And in real life. The lighter side of a werewolf attack. Plus, scary movie babes at their most terrifying. And not so much. All when the WB's outrageous Halloween Outtakes returns.
This is Scully. See? She likes you. She'll make a great friend and she'll keep you company.
Oh. I'm really late. Do you think it's okay if I just put her inside?
Sure.
Okay.
She's potty trained.
Oh, good. Good.
For those of you who missed the remake of the classic horror movie Willard, it still tells the story of a social misfit who unleashes an army of rats on the co-workers who've been tormenting him, which is another reason to be nice to that weird guy who comes to fix the copy machine. But in this new version, Willard is played by Crispin Glover, an actor who's so good, he's scary. Really scary. Like, make the rats run for cover scary. Here, the boss is spending some private time with his favorite website.
I like that. Oh, look at you.
But when he goes to click the computer mouse, but from this behind-the-scenes footage,
We don't want to see that. We don't want that.
we're not sure what's dirtier, the rat or the crew's minds.
That might look too sexual.
That looks pretty sexual.
Oh.
Here I am looking at dirty movies.
I think
We got this little sweet guy just jumps up here and starts humping wheels.
But it doesn't take an army of rodents to freak most of us out. One will do nicely, thank you very much. Like this home video. I don't know who's more traumatized, her or the rodent. In this next clip, Let's see if you can figure out which one of these guys is afraid of rats. Look closely. It might be hard to tell. If you guess the guy on the chair screaming like a woman, bing, bing, you're the winner. Dark Wolf is a sexy twist on the classic werewolf story, where the bloodthirsty beast stalks the streets of Los Angeles trying to mate with a young lovely to keep his breed alive. Here, the young lovely realizes he ain't all that. In this scene, a photographer comes up with an ingenious way to scare the werewolf away from his girlfriend. In this outtake, he goes from stud to dud when he can't get the flash to work.
Wait, help!
I'm trying! You're trying, baby! You're gonna die!
In scary movies, there's a good chance your character won't make it to the end of the film. Here, our young victim can't even make it to the end of the scene. Maybe something's tickling that amputated foot on her chest. The climax has Dark Wolf hell-bent on tearing everyone in the car limb from limb. But in this outtake, we see that you don't need a silver bullet to stop a werewolf. A little slap on the paw will do just fine. Take two, where eye-popping horror turns into eye-poking horror. Yep, making a scary movie is all fun and games until someone loses an eye.
Coming up, the biggest scary movies and the real home video that might have inspired them. Plus, on location for some nightmarish news stories. All when the WB's outrageous Halloween outtakes continues.
A secret society exists and is living among all of us. I know what you're thinking because I've been where you are.
That's enough. Leave it.
And it's possible
Leave
to
it. Cut.
imagine.
Leave it!
Tonight I'm going to show you something. Make you believe.
Wow!
What are you kids watching?
The news lady's turned into a werewolf.
Oh, boy.
Having to report on all the horrible things that happen in the world, a TV newscaster can get a pretty thick skin. So it's really fun to see something that can still scare them out of their skin.
This week, It's a Vet's Life comes to Amsterdam Zoo.
A place where giant strides have been made to bring zoo animals and visitors closer together.
Good morning. Good morning.
On June 29th, this newsman had no fear of ducks.
I told your owner that I loved little ducks and ducks loved me.
On June 30th, this happened.
Wow! Bloody get the thing off.
For all the stupid, non-news related duties that TV reporters have to perform, they really deserve a hand.
But now let's draw the envelope for the scenic weekend escape.
All right. We've already shown you how Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds was more real than you might have imagined. But is that movie an isolated case? I think not. take a look at a few more classic horror movies and the real-life home video that might have inspired them. The movie Jaws kept more people away from the beach than my mama in a thong. Just kidding, mama. But if you needed another reason to take your vacation in the desert, this should do.
There you go. Hang tight. Don't move. Don't move.
Even the cuddliest of creatures can be transformed into a furry nightmare from hell. It was deadly rabbits in Night of the Lepus. In this home video, it's Day of the Squirrel. And what would a horror movie be without something scary hiding in the shadows?
Come on, baby.
For this little boy, that scary something is his shadow. Mommy, what's that dark thing? And why is it following me? It's OJ, baby, run! It's OJ, run! As you can see, most of our nightmares are developed at a very early age.
Remember Yellowstone?
Like our fear of being sucked underground by hideous, hungry creatures. Where does that fear come from? You know this little dumpling's got some sleepless nights ahead. And for some of us, it didn't take a great white shark to make us afraid to go near the water. That fear popped up a long time ago.
Coming up, the Evil Dead. Don't seem too bad. And outtakes of scary movie babes. Gone wild.
This is for the DVD. Oh my God.
All when the WB's outrageous Halloween outtakes continues.
A common plot in early horror movies was to have an innocent, virtuous, young lovely chased by a horrible monster. Today, she's been replaced by the slasher film bimbo. Woo! Oversexed and under-rehearsed, these half-dressed hotties are just as important to the story as the killer. Because without her, who would we root for to get killed? What's the logical reaction when a zombie rips out part of your head?
Ready, and action. Cut it.
Let's try that again.
Baker, take two.
And action.
That's better.
So, my dear, let us kiss.
In Blood Dolls, the villain has an abnormally small head.
What's the matter, my dear? Don't tell me that I disappoint you. That I disgust you.
I love you.
Which poses a huge problem for his leading lady.
My Virgil.
I'm going to kiss him from the other side, so you hide his face, okay? You're going to tilt your head to the right. One more time, and...
Wait. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that? Okay, then you need to tilt the head the other way in there.
Yeah, that's cool.
So like, no, the other way. The other way, please. No, the other way.
That way.
The left. Your left.
Tilted?
No, the other way. To your right. What? Like this?
Yep.
Okay.
Just like that. Here we go. Let's no rolling.
But have Virgil stop looking at the breast.
Look your head up. Head up.
Ready, and...
No! Okay. Virgil. My Virgil.
Big slurpy kissing, and cut. That was wonderful.
Boss, the girls.
Usually, the young lady's escape is stopped by a locked door. In this outtake,
Action!
they're stopped by an open door.
Oh, it opened.
Now, while the sorority sisters of Delta Delta Die might not be the brightest bulbs in the chandelier,
Let's do it. Come on.
they are smart enough to know the golden rule of movie making. There's a lot more money to be made by putting outtakes on the DVD.
Making extra footage for the DVD. Extra time to This is for the DVD.
Oh, my God.
What they may lack on their SATs, they more than make up for with their double Ds. So other than a few good screams, what do we get from horror films? Some very valuable lessons. Don't go in the basement. Don't go in the attic. Don't answer the phone. Don't trust your boyfriend. Don't trust your girlfriend. Don't take a shower. Don't have sex. Don't do drugs. And don't miss the show that's coming up next. All About the Andersons, starring me, Anthony Anderson. Happy Halloween. Good night. Kai? Nate? Say Daddy some candy.
On the WB Monday,
I'm too young to have a baby.
the issue that divides our country.
She's pregnant, and she asked me if I'd perform an abortion.
The issue that will rip a town apart.
This is a small town. People know what they believe, and secrets are hard to keep. Stay out of it.
This is just something men don't want to get close to. Who does?
This girl came to me for help. Doing this type of thing in this type of town could get a man killed.
I have to do this.
Ever would on the WB Monday.